Good morning. Welcome to the channel, Gray Cloudy Day. I'm Gray Cloud, Sage of the Eternal Moment. And having a pretty good morning. Just ended a stream. We did probably a little over an hour and a half for a stream. There was at least 3 or 4 people watching at any given time, and a couple people in the chat. I talked about a lot of different things, and covered a lot of ground. But this video is to be my usual, just kind of a morning video, and I guess you could say it's sort of in place of the Jesus Calling videos, as where, if you'll go back in this week, there's been a couple of times I did share briefly either Jesus Calling or maybe read a little bit of Jesus Always, but the whole video wasn't around that, and that's kind of the way we're just approaching it now. And I say we because I feel like I'm being guided to do videos in a different manner. Now, that being said, this morning, in the chat, it was asked what's happened with they said, what's going on with or what happened to the Jesus Calling streams, which, I addressed. There was never like a stream that I did that was Jesus Calling. I have read it before live. I read this morning on the live stream. But, yeah, the videos, I just don't want anybody to think, if that is why you came to the channel, I can understand if you don't want to watch any videos that aren't anything remotely even related to that. But I'm trying to just be honest to myself and honest with myself. And I've always been just open about who I am and what I do. My relationship with the Creator is very personal, and I share that. So sometimes you're going to get some things like last year I didn't know exactly how I was going to do the Jesus Calling. And when we first started off, it was more of a hit or miss. Like, I didn't share it every single day. Even if I read it to myself every day, I wasn't sharing it every day. Now, at the beginning of 2025, I started in January and have pretty much made a video every single day, except for a few times I'd miss and I tried to catch up. And now you've experienced probably a couple of weeks of inconsistency from the last time that there was an official video called Jesus Calling. Now, with all that to the side and behind, we're going to read Jesus Calling this morning because I had read it to myself, and I realized there's a specific line in today's reading that I really wanted to address, that I addressed in the live stream early on when I read it. But, let's just get to it. 28th of July, Jesus Calling. Let my love seep into the inner recesses of your being. Do not close off any part of yourself from me. I know you inside and out, so do not try to present a cleaned up self to me. That's the line that I particularly really, it just resonates. I was saying this in the live stream, like, don't try to present a cleaned up self. Come dirty, come clean, come ugly, come neat, come downtrodden, come uplifted. However it is that you are, be yourself and come forth, That's what speaks to me. That's what's, don't try to hide the ugliness, because that's a part of the process. Okay, let's move on. Wounds that you shut away from the light of my love will fester and become wormy. Secret sins that you hide from me can split off and develop lives of their own, controlling you without you realizing it. Open yourself fully to my transforming presence. Let my brilliant love light search out and destroy hidden fears. This process requires time alone with me as my love soaks into your innermost being. Enjoy my perfect love, which expels every trace of fear. And I'm going through a process of letting go of some fears. Fears of being nervous when I stream. Fears of maybe making some shift in the way I'm doing the videos. But those are natural fears. But I'm trying to, through my belief and through my faith and through my connection with the Creator, I'm working through these things and developing myself and questioning myself along the way. And that's what's been going on. So if you were looking for why there isn't particularly a video every day called Jesus Calling, I think I've kind of just explained. And it's nothing against the books themselves. The one thing I do say is that Jesus always is not quite coming across to me the way that I was hoping it would. And that's exactly why we're not making videos of that every day. It reads, it has some good stuff in it. So far, it's just not clicked with me to want to present it on a daily basis, everyday thing. If I read it that morning and I like it and it speaks, I will share it. Now, I didn't read it yet today, but the Jesus Calling spoke loud and clear, so that's why I'm making this video. And I don't know if I'm going to title this Jesus Calling. It's probably going to be called Thoughts or Talking and a Little Jesus Calling or something. The title will be there, but it's not like it's going to be a mix-up of a title. And so, and it's still early. Like I said, I streamed for an hour and a half. I'm thinking about taking another walk. Right now, it's kind of overcast, so there's not, if I walk right now, it's not quite where it's going to be probably heat-wise at some point today. I think we're going to have a humid day and hot. But I try to do a couple of walks a day, and I'm just trying to stay more active and less in the digital world. I was talking about that in the live stream too. Trying to spend more time in the day, either reading, walking, and if I'm live streaming, that's one thing, or making a video, that's a different thing. But as far as I'm trying not to get on social media all through the day. I might be checking things and doing stuff for a little bit, but it's kind of like I'm trying to limit myself and stay more by a certain time in the day. If I've done a certain amount of real things in the world, I am sufficient, or I feel sufficient enough to take a break and maybe I tune out some things. But for the most part, the first half of the day up until a certain time in the afternoon, I try to stay as busy as I can while I can. So until next time, Mr. Gray Cloud says to the eternal moment, over and out. Ditto.